Yo, would you guys like to compete against all of us this coming NFL season in DFS? Because we have an exciting new app that we found out. We didn't make it, but we are coaches part of it, and it's called Super Draft. And if you would like to compete, ask me for details. I'll give you my link, and we're going to create our own games. Okay, guys. The link will be in the description after the video is live. Let's go. Let's start the show. Welcome into the show. We are going to start off with some Super Bowl talk. It just happened not that long ago. It's still fresh in all of our memories. Zach, what did you think about the Super Bowl this year?
I actually thought it was unsatisfying on my end. I wanted to see Burrow to make a comeback.
Yeah.
I wanted it.
Yeah, it was tough, dude. I mean, I thought they were gonna. That's the thing. Is like you think they're gonna do it. You're like, all right, let's go. This is the game we've been waiting for, and then they don't. And it's kind of like, all right, we bailed out the Rams at the end of the game. They ended up putting out a 3-point win. I was kind of disappointed with that as well.
Well, he had
to Joe Burrow grow. I mean,
that wasn't a sexual thing. Yeah, you know.
No, but like I agree. I mean, I think Joe Burrow's got an incredible career coming, and I think that entire offense kind of does. So, I mean, the legend gets to hear they get to a Super Bowl as a bunch of like 24, 25-year-olds, and now we get to see how they respond, how do they react coming back next year.
Do the Bengals make the Super Bowl without Jamar Chase?
No
shot.
No, everybody says no.
No shot.
Okay.
I think Joe Burrow, dude, that kid has a future, my guys. Like, I cannot believe what this kid did in his second year. To be that close to win the Super Bowl, only in his second year, dude, that I felt for the kid. It broke me. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not even a Bengals fan.
What was Samaje Perine doing? Like, that's the last play of the Super Bowl. You better lay out like you're trying to play volleyball to catch that thing.
Yeah, and the unfortunate part of it all is the AFC is absolutely stacked, right? So is Joe Burrow going to make it there again? And then on top of that, he is very, very eerily almost similar to Andrew Luck's career, right? If you look at it, Joe Burrow loves to get whacked around, and he does. He takes a beating. And if they don't fix that offensive line, I think he could have an Andrew Luck type of career where he ends up just calling it quits after, 8 years in the league.
I mean, well, we saw that too. Like he only played 4 games. He played 4 games his first year, blows out his knee. We see him in the Super Bowl get hurt again towards the end there, and it's like, oh boy, here we go. It's just another injury waiting to happen when you get pounded. Right. When you get pounded every game, all game, it's tough.
And I mean, it doesn't help when you're the most sacked quarterback this season. You know what I mean? Well, that season now, since it's over now, but that kid, for what he endured, he balled out. Dude, 4,611 yards. Like, that's not bad for a second-year quarterback.
Yeah.
And he's only still growing. Like, that AFC is going to be – and they're all young quarterbacks from what Jones, Burrow. Oh, my God, man. That AFC is stacked with quarterbacks, young ones. And they're all it's going to be fun to see the next years, the second generation.
So do you guys believe that the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line lost them the game, or did Aaron Donald and that defense win them the game?
I'm gonna say I think
lost them the game.
I'm gonna say the offensive line, because all game they were shutting down Donald. And let's be honest, I did not see Donald till literally once like he had 2 sacks the whole game.
Donald should have been the MVP.
You think so?
Absolutely, yes.
No.
Yes, he should have.
No.
Yes, Donald made the biggest play.
T. Higgins should have been the
game.
MVP if we're going to go that route.
What?
You said
Carter,
T. Higgins?
MVP, right?
T. Higgins should have been the MVP if we're going to go that route.
How could he be MVP? He lost the game. He would have been MVP if he won the game.
The offensive line lost him the game.
I think the thing with Donald was
you can't give the other guy MVP.
Here. I mean, I'll give you this. Donald was getting triple team, because what they were doing was they would play Donald double team, and if the center saw that nobody was coming in, he would just go in and triple team Darnold, and he didn't really. It was literally, you're doing this all game, and literally the last play, 4th and 1, with 30 seconds left on the clock, you're gonna decide to go 1-on-1? No,
yeah, but I feel like if you hold the team to 20 points, you as the defense won. Like, I do believe that the offensive line lost them the game. But as a defensive whole, when you're saying, what is our game plan? And we see this high-powered offense that Cincinnati brings. Like, yes, their line's terrible, but with Joe Mixon and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, and then obviously Jamar Chase, if you hold that team to 20 points, you should win.
And one of those, 7 of those 20 points came on one 75-yard touchdown, which is
that was a terrible call.
Right.
Or no call.
Exactly.
He about ripped his head off.
Yeah.
Everyone out there, I see this all over Twitter that, this is Jalen Ramsey's worst game and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, he had one 75-yard touchdown that shouldn't have been called a touchdown. So you can't blame that on Ramsey. He was in perfect position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go get Zach and Panda. I think the defense won them the game. And I know, Andrew, you're leaning that way too. I don't know if I'd go as far to say Aaron Donald MVP, because I think Cooper Kupp deserved it. At the end of the day, he scores twice. He carried them
and I love Cooper Kupp. I'm not trying to discourage that man. I think he is a great wide receiver. But even more importantly than that is the way Sean McVay sets up that offense. I don't understand why other NFL coaches are not taking just notes watching these games, because if you notice, when Cooper Kupp comes out, he looks like he's blocking almost every time, and that gets the safety to come down, and then bam, he beats him every time. I mean, Panda, we get to see this shit twice a year. Okay, so we know how that
Panda's actually there right now. Look, Panda's actually there watching it right now.
And no one else is there. Imagine
that. No, and that's the thing, because I'll give you this, Andrew. Yes, that defense for the Rams won them the Super Bowl. But again, I also agree with Carter. I wouldn't go as far as say as he was the MVP. Donald be the MVP, but definitely like I love what McVay and the defensive coordinator did was, as soon as they saw that they were double teaming him, triple teaming him, Von Miller was just going, all right, I'm going down the middle. He would literally wait.
So if he doesn't get that sack, Jamar Chase scores a walk-off touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how is that
Ramsey
not
was
MVP?
Because he didn't do anything the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Yes, he did, because he had to take all the other guys. Come on.
Listen, just because he likes to take a lot of guys does not make him an MVP. All right? If we're going to go that route, we'll give all my ex-girlfriends the MVP. All right? Listen, the offensive line is what lost them that game. Because if they can just hold 3 more seconds, they get a walk-off touchdown.
That's right.
Yeah. And it
I'm
also
not
didn't
saying
help.
The Rams won it. I'm saying that Aaron Donald should be MVP. Cincinnati offensive line lost them the game. Both can be true. We watched it. But anyhow, move on to Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase, well, not I think, he is my Dynasty wide receiver 1. Agree, disagree?
Disagree.
Why?
Because Treylon Burks is coming.
Oh, God. You can't have Treylon Burks as a rookie as your Dynasty wide receiver 1. Stop it, Zach.
I can have anybody that I want as my Dynasty wide receiver 1. There are no rules.
There are only wrong answers.
Nah, I think, yeah, Jamar Chase. And I mean, I think it's lucky that he got matched up with a quarterback that he's been with for a while. That was the Bengals' smartest decision ever, was not only drafting Joe Burrow, drafting his number 1 receiver in college. Like, his guy. Like, they already have that.
At the beginning of the year, everybody was trashing it.
Yeah, and I mean, dude,
because he couldn't catch the ball.
But was I want to put that out there. Anyone that knows me, I told him, stop that shit. Drops don't matter. Because I am a big believer of drops don't matter. I don't give a shit who drops. I love Deontay Johnson. He drops the ball all the fucking time. Drops don't matter because his route running and his skill gets him the ball. Targets are earned.
And that boy got that.
But everybody was trashing that decision.
Yeah, that was stupid. It was really stupid. And I love that Cincinnati had the guts to go against its own fan base. Because if you remember last year, there were people in the stands with banners of Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
So that took a lot of guts to be like, we're going to go against the whole fan base in a year that you just destroyed any reputation, if you had any at the time. I mean, Cincinnati doesn't have much reputation as it is. And they also are building a new stadium. Well, they need one built. So that took a lot of courage, honestly. That took a lot of courage. But Jamar Chase, definitely my wide receiver 1 right now. I think there is an argument for Justin Jefferson. Carter, I can't believe you didn't argue with me.
I was waiting to jump in on that.
The only reason I have that, I'll let you speak. The only reason I have it is because I believe more in Joe Burrow than I do Kirk Cousins, and not just Kirk Cousins, but I don't know what the actual organization is going to do right now in Minnesota. It's kind of all up in the air. So if I'm drafting today, I'm going Jamar Chase. But if you took Justin Jefferson, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to jump in and say Justin Jefferson, not only because I'm biased, but also just because he is who he is. And like, I don't know, we saw so much good stuff. And I think the offense, what we saw from the Minnesota offense and what Justin Jefferson did last year and what he's done since he's been in the league is about as low as the Minnesota offense can get. And he's still doing that. You know, like, I think they can only step up from here with a new coach, a new offensive coordinator who, if you were looking at the Minnesota offense, comparing it to the Rams offense, I think there's a lot of similarities in a lot of ways in terms of how they're going to run the offense. And so doing a similar thing in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell, I think Justin Jefferson could have a huge year.
Absolutely. I still think he's going to have a huge year. And I would take Justin Jefferson number 1 in redraft over Jamar Chase. But it's just that longevity part that I just don't know what is going on there. And it could get worse for Minnesota. What if they move on from Kirk Cousins and they go with Kellen Mond? I mean, that's not going to be good.
Watson.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey,
Watson. They're going to go
new head coach O'Connell. I mean, and I know we're going to talk about this later on the show, but Kevin O'Connell though, like,
we'll get to it. We'll get to it. What about Joe Mixon's dynasty value right now? He's 25 years old. He's coming off a top 3 running back season. Especially in the dynasty community, once you hit about 25, 26, people start thinking of you as almost dust. It's like trying to move and move and move. Are you buying, you selling? What do you think about him dynasty wise?
I don't know if anybody's seen this, but the video just got released from his assault case in 2014, and it's pretty bad.
I did not see that.
Like it's
that's why we have you here, Zach. You just
Yeah,
like,
the
it's
whole
bad.
damn thing.
You did
down.
what?
Like
You
it's
say,
bad.
Mixon.
Like it's bad.
Yeah, let's
Like,
talk about
he
stats.
punches a
Nah, let's
lady
talk about this
out.
boy's track record.
Bro, we've seen that when he came out of college. Come on now. We saw the pizza.
Yeah,
incident
it's
all
starting to
the way
make its
back
rounds
then.
on TikTok right now.
Yeah, it didn't just get released. That is not
Cancel
something
culture
to
will
look
come.
at. We saw it. He hasn't done anything since. He's safe for now.
Not only is he running over defenses, apparently he's doing it in life too.
Man, y'all just piling on this man that hasn't done
Oh, he's
shit in
doing it all
years.
over the place.
He's been good.
Nah,
He's been a good boy.
I think. Listen, I'm
And
not gonna be
he's
here.
about
And
to turn to dust.
that is like extracurricular stuff, and I think like listen, we can't judge a guy's future based on his past, but he did. Joe Mixon is even though he's not like a heavy
He's a stud.
he's not like a stud. That boy can do stuff with the ball. You give him the ball, he'll do stuff.
Bro, I think you're not noticing how big Joe Mixon actually is. Joe Mixon's about 220. He's big.
And he's fast. And he
he's
can catch the
fast.
ball. And he can
Yeah.
cut.
Well,
I mean,
I
he's got a
remember
lot
him
of it.
coming
That's what
out
I'm
of
saying.
college. When he was coming out of college, I honestly had him ranked above Leonard Fournette. My love, because Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the NFL. He was my number one, and he'll stay there. I don't care how many injuries he has. But Joe Mixon was my number two that year. He
Yeah, I think
is
if I
an
have Joe
absolute
Mixon,
stud.
I think if I have
why
Joe
didn't
Mixon,
they have him out there on the last play of the game?
Well, that's just bad coaching. What are you gonna do with Joe? I don't understand that. When I was watching, I was like, why is it that they have these packages, right? And that's all it is. It's not even really about the coach. It's not like he said, Joe Mixon, you stay out, and Samaje, you go in. They have these third down calls that are coming on like little note cards or whatever, and that's the package that goes out there, which is kind of stupid because I feel like in 2022, we have the technology and the wherewithal that we can say, Samaje, sit your ass down. You're done for the day.
they had him
Right?
out there multiple
honestly.
times. They had him out there multiple times. And I'm sitting here going, why? Why is he on the field right now?
I'm okay with having him out there sporadically through the game, but on the last play of the game, that's stupid. That's not going to catch the defense off guard. And he's a better pass catcher. But
you got one of the best receiving backs in the NFL.
Yeah, just because he was out there on those certain packages, that's why he was out there the last play of the game. And that's stupid.
And I think it's more because of the NFL culture where now it's like seriously, like you're 4-1. They're showing the defense didn't do anything special in that last play. They just got Donald. He's Donald. Like
exactly.
They didn't do anything special, dude. Joe Mixon, just bring this boy in. He'll get you that first down. There's still enough time on the clock. There's enough time on the clock.
Yeah.
Look, I'd rather it losing. He got hit on the 1 yard line, and it's gonna come down to like a close call, than to the way it ended of a sack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean and I'm gonna bring up the Hawks because seriously, 4-1. That was all you had to do was run the ball over.
That's right.
Instead, you're gonna go for a pass and not double team the guy that is one of the best defenders.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah. And I forgot who said it, but yeah, it came down to coaching.
Yeah.
It came to one call, and unfortunately, that's not the mistake you want to make, especially in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Especially
I want to talk about the other side of the ball just a little bit. I want to talk about Cooper Kupp because he's going to be 29 years old, right? What do you do with him in Dynasty right now? He had this ridiculous year this year, and it's not all because Robert Woods missed time. That's I don't believe that. I believe it's more that he eats breakfast with Matthew Stafford.
It
was. I believe. It was that they built something together. It was
real.
Yeah. They found a connection.
And a dynasty window, right, is well, the way I look at it is 3 years. Does Cooper Kupp have a top 5, top 10 wide receiver seasons for the next 3 years? I think it's tough to say. I think he has one more in him, but does he have 3 more?
I mean, I'll say one more in him.
I think he has one more.
I think he has one more, but it not only comes down to the age and stuff, it also comes down eventually teams are going to pick up. Teams are going to
not just that, but the way the whole offense and defense, just the team is structured, right? They went all in. They pushed every chip in the middle, and contracts and stuff are going to start coming up. This year, they're going to be fine. But after this year, it's going to be a storm in Los Angeles. Like it's going to be bad. But Donald could leave, which is, going to help out the offense because they're going to be out there more. But then their Sonner, he's done. And that's going to hurt really bad. And that actually makes me a little nervous about Cam Akers too, because they're going to lose that center. He's done. He's 40 years old, 43.
Yeah. He's
all ancient. All right. Move on to a little bit of Cardinal talk. Just a little bit. So absolute amazing season, right? Yeah. If you look at it as a whole, it was an amazing season. Yeah, they sputtered down at the end, and the way it ended against the Rams is one of the worst things that could possibly happen. But I want to see this projected cap space, and I got this all from Pro Football Focus. They have $813,000 in cap space right now, which is really not good. That's 22nd in the league. And right now, free agent-wise, is Chandler Jones, Christian Kirk, Zach Ertz, AJ Green, James Conner, Chase Edmonds, Robert Alfred, Max Williams, and Colt McCoy. And
so
then they
offense.
also think that, and they
so
also think
offense.
that there's possible cuts happening in DJ Humphries because that would save $15 million. Justin Pugh, which we talked about this Panda earlier, that would save $9.8 million. Devon Kennard, that's $4.8 million. Jordan Hicks, another $6.5 million. And I want to just think of all of that I just said and look at the top 4. You can even look at the top 6 teams this season that made it the furthest in the playoffs. What is the number one thing that all of those teams really had to make it that far? Or do you think it was just happenstance?
I'm going to go with, happenstance, because, listen, the Cardinals had it. They had it in the hand. They had the team. They had the receivers. I mean, let's look at let's take a look at.
I'm saying, sorry to cut you off, but look at the top 4 teams, right? If you look at the top 4 teams, every single one of them have a good pass rush, right? They all have good pass rush. There's no one in there, and they all have good offensive lines except Cincinnati, and every one of them have a great or at least good quarterback except for San Francisco. But what was so great about San Francisco was that pass rush.
And that's the thing
when you're trying to build a team, right? You look at it from even not a Cardinal perspective. You're trying to build a team and you're saying, what is the most important free agent that you need to sign? In my opinion, it's Chandler Jones. I know everyone wants James Conner to be back and Zach Ertz to be back. But if they lose that pass rush, we already saw how exposed our corners got. Byron Murphy is a slot corner playing a number 1 corner on the outside. We have Marco Wilson on the other side because our organization, for some reason, fucked up and told the guy they brought over, Malcolm Butler, that he wasn't going to be a starter. So he rather retire for a year. And now I just read a report that he's back in the league. So if you don't have a pass rush, you're going to be even more exposed on defense. We already can't stop the run. What are you going to do? If you have James Conner and stuff, you can outscore. And I believe in outscoring the opponent. And I I've talked about this multiple times where I think the Cardinals need to sign Chandler Jones and then go all in on offensive linemen. But we need the pass rush. We can't win without a pass rush.
And I think it's not just the D line, because you're right. We need Chandler back. We need to get Chandler Jones back, because that dude it's Chandler Jones, my guy. Like, it's nothing. I mean, he's one of the best for the region. And I mean, yeah, people are like, we have JJ Watt too. We have JJ Watt, but can we have JJ Watt for a year? I love JJ Watt, but can we keep him for a year without him getting injured? And listen, that man has heart to be able to not fully be healed, but to play because he wants us. But at that point, it was too late.
I think I'm going to flip the script a little bit here. I know I'm all about it, and I agree. I think defense wins championships. But I think what all four of those teams, if you look at all four of the last four standing, what they have is impactful offense. I mean, look at it. They've got somebody on offense that can make a splash at any given moment. That's why I personally think, like, the 49ers pass rush was great. Don't get me wrong. But the way that they use Deebo Samuel and then mix in Elijah Mitchell,
yes,
I think Jimmy G is a bad quarterback, in my opinion. But the way that they used him and used Deebo, that's impact. You know, the Kansas City offense is freaking crazy. Their defense is garbage, but their offense is crazy.
But their defensive pass rush is good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with the 49ers was they were surprised, because when they started to see the D-line that started at the beginning of the season was not the one that ended it. And the one that ended it was literally guys that they had on the bench who just happened to be, oh my God, stars. And there's one who got hurt. He ended up getting hurt too. Now look up his name right now. But I think, and I'm going to switch it here too, because I agree, Carter. I mean, Kyler, as soon as he got hurt, he stopped running. He tried to be a pocket quarterback, stop making those. And that was, and I'm going to bring up the Suns that you're wearing a Suns hat, Andrew. The Suns right now are playing that 5-minute offense where it's like the last 5 minutes of the game, they go, all right, who wants to shoot?
Yeah.
And that's the thing with the Kyler did was all game, he was like, I'm going to stay in the pocket. I'm going to stay in the pocket. We're down. And as soon as those 5 minutes hit on the fourth quarter, I don't know if you guys noticed this, he would start running. We would start moving the ball. But as soon as he got sacked once, staying back in the pocket.
Yeah, but if you look more into the organization, that was not random, right? So Kyler stopped running the ball so much because all the other teammates came around talking about what happened the previous season. They knew they couldn't win without Kyler. There was no way they're going to win with Colt McCoy. So if he kept running so much, he was going to possibly get injured again. So he was trying to do both. And it's not like Kyler is not a top passer. Like, if you look at so I just saw this the other day. He's already, percentage-wise, the best quarterback in Cardinal history. Already. So all these people that want to come out there and say, oh, Kyler's not very good at passing. That's bullshit.
Excuse me, sir. Zach, we've had Kevin Kolb. We've had Kevin Kolb, all right?
That liner.
Yeah, that liner. Let's go.
Now we had
I hope he's the best quarterback y'all had.
I mean, yeah. Looking back, Carson Palmer and Kurt Warner are like, you think Cardinals good best seasons, and it was those two guys. And that's
like saying Mark Sanchez is the best Jets quarterback. I mean, like, what quarterback have they had other than, Joe Namath?
Like, and unfortunately, that's true. I mean, there's a reason
let's take it away from that. So, Pro Football Focus graded him as the 5th most accurate passer this season. He had an 87.5, and that was including the playoff game. He was 3rd before the playoff game.
I think he's a good quarterback. I'm just arguing against.
No, Zach, you want to talk shit on Kyler?
I'm just trying to argue just to get you going. I'm just trying to argue to get you going.
And the thing is, I like, listen, this whole drama right now with Kyler of the scrubbing of his internet, like of his social media. Listen, I want Kyler to stay because this dude has a future. And it all comes down to, can he, because he has the talent, he has the legs, the speed, he has the smart. Does he have the maturity? Is what it comes down to, because it also came down to a lot of the games where, I don't know if you guys saw the sidelines, we're down, he's slamming his helmet, he is like running, yelling at
playing for the
team.
Oakland A's.
But isn't that funny though? Because everyone comes out there and says that, oh, Kyler acts like this on the sideline, like no other quarterback did. Did you not see Tom Brady at 44 years old this year break the shit out of that tablet? How about when Peyton Manning would go and chew out his best friend, the center for the Colts? He used to tell him that he was a piece of shit during the game. And Aaron Rodgers told the organization that if you don't put a clause in my contract to where I get to dictate if I'm traded the following season, I'm not going to play this season. But it's only Kyler that gets this type of hate because he's immature and everything. You know, and it's terrible because what has happened is guys like Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow have come out so recently. You can't compare it to guys like that. And to compare it to the entire whole. And if you look at Kyler, he's a top 5 to 10 quarterback in the league easily. And there are so many different organizations that would be so happy if he came.
And the thing is, what I was gonna say was, and all the maturity thing, all this stuff, you also got to remember, he just turned 24. Kyler just turned 24. I've read on comments, people going, "Whoa, look at Joe Burrow, he's on his second season. Look at Patrick." Yes, but all those guys are older than Kyler.
Yeah,
they have. And listen, and you want to say it's the age thing, it's the thing. At the same time, dude, I get it. You're a quarterback, you're a kid, but playing video games on the game nights because you're part of the FaZe clan, all this stuff.
Bro, let him live his life.
Live his life. But eventually, I think it's gonna have to be like, bro, listen, I love it. You're awesome. You're a great player. Let's maybe focus during the season. And the thing is, we were 4 years ago, we were 3-13. Cardinals were 3-13.
Yeah.
It was bad.
We get Kyler. We went from 5, then 8, and now we're at 11 wins. And he's only getting better every single year. And the thing is with Kyler Murray is, what was the issue with his first season? Oh, he makes desperate throws. We fixed that. We were doing good. But the second season was, oh, he's trying to force passes when he shouldn't. And there was some other issue, and he fixed it this year. But once we started going downhill, he started making those same mistakes that he were supposed to be fixed. And as soon as that switch happened, he just kept doing unnecessary throws, forcing passes into things he shouldn't. And honestly, I just think he's going to get better. All these, this second wave of young quarterbacks are all going to get better. And it's only going to get better.
We're honestly so spoiled right now of how many great quarterbacks are in the NFL. Like, I think this is the best, as long as I've been alive, of how many good quarterbacks are in the NFL at one time.
And those same like negative things can be said about other quarterbacks too. Mm-hmm. Look at Patrick Mahomes. He forces throws. He tries to make the spectacular throws.
And that's what I'm saying. They're only going to get better. They're learning. Because people, and it's true, like you said, we got spoiled with Brady, Rodgers, Breeze. We got spoiled with these guys who were like making fantastic throws. We got to remember, most of these guys are like 5 years or less. So they're still learning.
Yeah.
They're still going to get better. They're going to get better with age. And by the time that we get to the point now with this generation of quarterbacks, who knows what we could be talking about? We could be talking about 4-time Super Bowl winner Joe Burrow, 2-time Super Bowl winner. You know, they're only going to get better. And that's the thing about the sport is people like to judge immediately without knowing that they're young. These guys are college. They're still learning. give them till like if by the 6th season they're still not, not their teams are still bad. I get it, but these guys are not. This generation, I do not see any flaws. They're still learning.
We're comparing them to Hall of Fame quarterbacks. All those guys you just named are all Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and we've been, like Andrew said, fortunate enough to grow up and watch these guys play.
Yeah,
but that's our standard.
That's our standard,
right?
And they're still learning. They've still got a long way to go, and I just think it's only going to get fun from here because we see these guys grow, get better every single year, and before we know it, who knows what could happen in the future? Who knows? Out of all these guys, are we going to have what we had with Brady, and all these guys? Probably not. It's going to be again.
No, we definitely will. These guys are coming in. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Patrick Mahomes, Zach, you were telling me something about he had a conversation with his family. Can you elaborate on that? Because I don't know what that whole thing was.
His brother and wife are no longer coming to the games.
I saw that.
Joe Burrow put an end to the TikTok careers.
Did you guys see that where he was going and saying hi to all the Rams?
Yeah. Hey, Donald. Hey, nice to meet you guys. Hey.
Legend.
He got autographs after the game.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Joe Shasty.
Joe
that was pretty wild.
Burro. El burro.
All right, I want to get into a couple of rumors, okay? So there are Carson Wentz rumors, and they are hot right now. So I have been seeing that Carson Wentz, they're already looking for trade partners, but if they can't trade him, they could possibly release him. ESPN's Chris Mortensen reported Sunday that the Colts will probably trade or release Wentz by March 18th. That is before a significant chunk of his money would officially become due.
Did I hear that right? Did you put like a hot rumor in front of Carson Wentz? let me make sure my headphones are in.
It's a hot rumor because they just traded a first-round pick a year ago.
Yeah, but that was a mistake.
It was a mistake that they have to eat. That's still like they're not like. I don't think at the beginning of last year you thought they were going to move on with Carson Wentz in one season. I mean, I didn't. I don't like Carson Wentz, and I thought he was terrible. And we got to see how far Jalen Hurts took that Eagles team. It's not like they did any upgrades other than Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
And the thing with Carson is let's be honest. He got hit with that injury bug back when he was with the Eagles, and has not been the same since. They got hit
with that mental bug.
Yeah, because we talk about the Eagles Super Bowl win, but we're not talking about Carson. We're talking about Nick Folk. And the thing is, I think that trade. Listen. It's not like he played super bad because he did have over 3,000 yards, but it's not enough to say. It's not enough to say, dude, you are the future quarterback of that franchise. Like you did not carry that team. Your running back was carrying that team.
Well,
where did they go?
Well, they should have been in the playoffs. Without a doubt, they should have been in the playoffs. They lose to Jacksonville week 18, fluke game. But my point, to add to what Panda just said, he did his job. I mean, a first-round pick's a lot, but he came in, he did his job. He managed a game, and he turned around and handed the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. So, in my opinion, he did his job. He's not a great quarterback,
but if you saw some of those terrible passes that he made, I mean, he's getting swung around and he's throwing the ball at a guy down at the goal line. What are you doing?
Right.
No.
You know, I mean, some of the interceptions he had were not just like, oh, that guy made a good play. It was like, did he really do that?
Well, where do you go from him?
But and that's the thing. What do you do? I don't really know. I feel like
Jameis.
Is Jameis Winston honestly better than Carson Wentz?
Make a play for Watts. Watson?
Possibly. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you do from here. And you're right. He managed the game for the most part, Carter, but it's just that he wasn't brought there just to manage because Jacoby Brissett was already managing.
Right.
Yeah.
That wasn't enough. He was supposed to give that bump. And when you have the number one rusher in the entire NFL by hundreds of yards and you miss the playoffs, that starts to ruffle feathers up top.
Yep.
And the only guy that really believed in him was the coach. And if the coach stops believing in him, it's over. It's over. And I don't know where he goes. I saw reports that maybe he goes to Pittsburgh. I think that's a good landing spot for him.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh needs some type of upgrade, and there's not going to be that many people available. If Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson get out of the market, then the number one quarterback available is what? Jimmy G?
And they said they already said they just said a couple days ago that they want to get him to a winning scenario. So I don't know where he goes, but they're more than happy to trade him to a winning scenario, which is fine with me. I think he's a bad quarterback, but I don't know even where he goes.
I was about to say, doesn't he cancel out the winning scenario?
I mean, I think Jimmy Garoppolo, is that who we're talking about?
Yeah.
He goes, I really believe that Washington Commanders make a run for him and trade a first-round pick. To be honest, I've looked small at this rookie class, and I'm not impressed by any of them. I think Jimmy G is a okay to decent game manager, and they have weapons over there. That's what he needs. They have a defense. It was on the field so much this season that it looked like a bad defense. But I think that if the offense can just move a little bit, Taylor Heineke's not the guy. He's a bum.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, he needs to retire. He's getting really old. I think Jimmy G will be the best available. Like it or not, that's where we are. I mean, I honestly think that Marcus Mariota could possibly be a starter in the league this year. And he hasn't played in multiple years. I wouldn't want it, but I think it's a possibility for the landscape that we're in right now.
You brought up
I agree with you.
You brought up Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. Say either of those two guys moves on. Do you think that Wentz or Jimmy G goes to Green Bay or Seattle?
No, Green Bay doesn't strike me as that type of team. If you notice, they don't pay free agents like that. Right. Aaron Rodgers has been begging for a free agent wide receiver for like 10 years now. I feel like they have their nucleus there, and they'll just ride with Love.
Which is a horrible decision when you have the talent.
I mean, is it though? Is Love worse than Carson Wentz? Or are they one and the same?
I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say they're one and the same.
I'm going to say definitely yes.
I don't know. And you have to pay him, whereas Love you get for, he's still on a rookie contract.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also, what's his name? Lance, right? That's the 49ers, the rookie quarterback. Yeah. Also, I mean, if Jimmy G leaves there, I mean, he played what? He started 3 games this year, right? Well, Jimmy was out, right? Like 3 games. I mean, he could run. I didn't see anything special there. I mean,
I think Trey Lance has potential.
He's going to be awesome. I'm sorry.
I think he has the potential.
He is going to be awesome. There are some throws that he made that most quarterbacks cannot make. Yes, he has growing pains. He also only played 1 year in college, and then he was out a complete season in college because of COVID. And so he has, not a lot to work with. After a couple years, he's going to be great. And in that Shanahan offense, because Shanahan's going to do what he can with him. He's not going to overexert him.
We also have to realize he came from NDSU. The jump from NDSU to NFL is crazy. We saw it with Carson Wentz. We saw it with Carson Wentz, but Trey Lance is kind of the same scenario where it's like it's going to take a little while to adjust to that. He's not playing the Alabamas and the Clemsons of the world. He's going straight in the NFL.
Yeah. So if Jimmy G does go to the Washington Commanders, does that bump up Terry McLaurin or does it bump him down? Or does he not move at all? Because Terry McLaurin, I mean, we all had him as like a top 12 wide receiver going into this year.
It depends, I think, where you have him right now. I mean, do you have him as still in that top 10 to 15 range based on his age and what we know he can do? Or do you think he slid far enough down to be like, there's room to improve here?
Yeah, let's look at that. So I feel like he is right there in that like 15 to 20 range, right?
Yeah, he should be.
I feel like that's where he is, 15 to 20. I'm taking him over Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
And I think he's in that 15 to 20 range too.
What about Antonio Brown? To me, that kind of raises
Brown's still
Antonio
high.
Brown. I mean, Antonio Brown. Antonio Gibson. Sorry.
Antonio Gibson's still high.
Yeah.
Dude is a beast. I mean, the guy played on like a broken shin. How do you play on a broken shin? Like, honestly, I just don't understand how you do that. Like,
yeah.
Antonio Gibson has everything that you were looking for. I mean, they drafted him to be a Christian McCaffrey type of player, right? But they knew that he didn't have a lot in college. He didn't get a lot of work in college, so he had to go through growing pains. And I feel like he had some good weeks this year, and he comes in next year fully healthy. I think this is the year he pops off.
Yeah,
like I'm definitely buying him in Dynasty if I can.
Towards the end of the season, he did start popping off.
Yeah.
Every other game, it seemed like he was rushing for 100 yards and a touchdown or 50 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Right. I just like there's not that many, you know what I mean? Running backs that you're going to take ahead of him. How is he not in your top 10?
Yeah, he should be top
J.K.
10.
over him?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe, possibly.
He doesn't have that pass catching ability, really, with Lamar Jackson. I would rather have Jimmy G throwing to me than I would Lamar Jackson as a running back.
And especially with right now, the NFL is going to their backs who can also catch. Yeah. I mean, if the formula is working for one team, I think. Listen, Jimmy G, I don't like the dude. He's not that great of a quarterback, but
he's not that bad either.
He's not that bad.
Overblown.
He's. I think if you put Jimmy G in that Commanders offense, it's going to be a toss-up. And I mean, what we got to think into what can he really bring? Because we know what he brought to the 49ers, and it was Debo who saved them.
Yeah. I don't like him at Washington.
This might be crazy, but I would honestly take Antonio Gibson over Alvin Kamara right now in Dynasty.
I would too.
No, I'm saying even if his court stuff is all settled, because I think it will be outside of court, he'll, throw him a quick 50 mil or 55 mil and shut him up.
Yeah.
Say everything's good and we're going into the season.
I like it because Alvin Kamara is going to have Taysom Hill as his quarterback.
He's not. They're definitely going to cut Taysom Hill.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
no,
the only
not.
reason
Sean
they
Payton
gave him
said
money
he
was Sean Payton.
He's good. Listen to Sean Payton. Sean Payton said he's the best.
Only guy to like him.
All right. Sean Payton might be the only person on the planet that likes him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you.
I don't think any of us thought that he was any good, right?
I mean
no.
Taysom Hill?
He's garbage. He's hot garbage.
Zach, you're right.
What about Cam
Akers?
Michael
Thomas thinks he's
Cam
good.
Akers over Antonio Gibson?
No.
No, I'm not either. I have Antonio Gibson pretty high. I would say.
Would you take Antonio Gibson over Derrick Henry in Dynasty?
Yeah.
I'm gonna log out.
No?
No.
Yeah.
You get a no?
Yeah, you'd have to.
I think you have
Derrick
to.
Henry has 1 year left.
I think you have to. I think Derrick Henry's done.
Does Derrick Henry have 3 full years left?
I mean, if he can stay healthy, that dude, that Henry is.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry will be 29 years old. And for a running back,
that's
getting up there.
He's a freak. He
He is a
defies
freak.
running backs.
I got
He
that
defies
man.
the age, I
Is,
think.
Right.
I think if he
and
could
so
stay
did
healthy,
Adrian right?
Exactly.
And then what happened to Adrian Peterson?
Well, there's
He
going to
fell
be
off.
yeah, there's going to be the steep drop off because eventually
yeah.
he's going to get to a point where he can't be the bruising back that he is. But I mean,
So
Derrick
is-
Henry looks like every
Yeah,
year.
I'm not.
he's
Yeah, I'm
getting
not
better.
saying that this man's going to be like the greatest running back all the way till the end of his career. No, he's eventually going to die down. But right now, if he could stay healthy, play how he plays, be aggressive. Oh God, man, I see that man running towards me. I am dropping on the ground. I ain't attempting that tackle.
Yes, I think 1 year he has huge. I'm going to have him super high in redraft. But I'm talking about dynasty. You're in a dynasty startup right now. You're not buying him to make a run for the championship. You're trying to build your team right now. Are you going to take the 5 years of Antonio Gibson or the 2 years of Derrick Henry?
So you're saying dynasty startup though. So what? So rumor me this. So what if everybody thinks that way? Say you get Derrick Henry late. You make a run at a championship now without Derrick Henry being your dog. You might get him later in a redraft, or I mean in a startup, because people are like, oh, bro, the guy's old.
I mean, maybe you get him in the 3rd round. That's going to be the furthest you get him.
Yeah.
Because there's always that.
I don't know. I don't know where
right?
I'd have Derrick Henry in my dynasty.
Right. There's always that cutoff where you now maneuver to a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And it all depends on how you play dynasty. But there's just certain guys that you're like, okay. And then you're like, he's not good enough for 1 season. Why would I want him for 5 if I could get 1 great season out of this guy?
Right.
Right. You know, like I would probably take him. Trying to look at the list. I would probably take him before J.K. Dobbins. I think that's the cutoff.
Absolutely.
And I
I
like J.K. Dobbins a lot, but do I think that J.K. Dobbins has a top 5 or even a top 10 running back season in him? I think top 10 is about the top. I think 10.
Go ahead and lock it up. J.K. Dobbins top 5 next year.
No way.
How's he going to do it?
Lamar Jackson's going to freeze defenses.
Yeah, but Lamar Jackson's also going to have 500-600 yards himself.
Has he ever played with J.K. Dobbins a full season?
No.
Okay. Then how
But
do you
has
know?
J.K. Dobbins played a full season?
No. No, he has not.
This isn't working out too well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, Lamar Jackson, he gonna be your running back. He gonna be your quarterback. Like,
Dude is awesome.
Lamar Jackson might be the MVP next year,
Oh yeah.
and I don't think that that's a crazy take.
No, I don't either.
and
I thought he was going to be this year. So
and I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna say this as being a Cardinals fan. When we got Josh Rosen, I was not happy.
I love that guy.
I wanted, I was like, we have a guy who could run. Get him. And then we trade. I'm like, oh, we're getting him. And then Josh Rosen, and we're screwed.
the experts loved Josh Rosen, though.
Yeah.
They loved him.
And
the way he spun the ball, the way it jumped off his hands. I mean, you remember the scouts were all over Josh Rosen.
I knew he was gonna have a downfall when he said that whole 10 guys, that 10 mistakes. I'm like, dude.
I actually believed in Josh Rosen, to be honest. I just didn't believe in him as a Cardinal because I knew what team we had. We had a terrible offensive line with a non-mobile quarterback, and he took a beating. I mean, I don't know if I've seen a quarterback get hit as much as he did.
Yeah, didn't he end up breaking like the rookie or like the rookie sack record? Like he got sacked so many times. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember that Denver game. I think he got sacked like 10 times.
Yeah, I think that was the game I almost died.
It was just punishment. Bro. I was so pissed at Steve Wilkes that day. I was like, why don't you take him out? We're not winning this.
We're done.
Yeah. We were done after the first quarter. What are you doing? But it's just the way it works. All right, let's talk a little bit of coaches because there's a couple coaches I wanted to bring up tonight that are very interesting in terms of NFL and in terms of fantasy. Let's do a fantasy one first. I think Trevor Lawrence getting Doug Peterson is better for fantasy than it is for NFL because just how much they have to compete. But just look at what Trevor Lawrence had to deal with last year. He had to deal with Urban Meyer as a coach. His safety net, Travis Etienne, went down before the season. DJ Chark went out week 4. And Laviska never fired. I mean, we've all wanted Laviska Shenault to be a thing, but he really hasn't fired. So I feel like this team's still missing a lot. The defense is still bad, which is good for fantasy purposes. What do you think about Trevor Lawrence going forward, dynasty-wise?
I like him. I like him with the new head coach.
Yeah, I like.
I think it's a huge upgrade.
And I think Trevor, I mean, granted, he was put in a bad situation. But he's not a bad quarterback. That dude, he end up getting, he looked, well, the team he was playing with, I mean, granted, he did get 3,000 plus yards for being his rookie season, being behind that bad of an O-line, bad team he had. He didn't play that bad, but again, I agree. I think Doug Peterson might do something good for him because, again,
Doug Peterson took Nick Foles to the Super Bowl.
Nick Foles to the Super Bowl, yeah. And I mean, I'm not saying he's Bill Belichick. He's gonna be like this great coach, but better than what Trevor Lawrence had. I think Doug Peterson will do. Yeah, it's a huge upgrade.
Huge upgrade.
It's a huge upgrade.
The kicking coach Urban Meyer.
Well, I just think I'm curious to see how. I mean, Doug Peterson's a huge change, and that's going to change the whole dynamic of the offense. Add that with getting an actual running back. I mean, their running backs were a bunch of no-name guys most of last year until. I mean, I'm not a James Robinson fan, so whatever. But I mean, you go from that to having Travis Etienne back, having a new coach and hopefully a new look offense. Like I feel like Trevor Lawrence could take a huge sophomore step.
Healthy receivers.
Right.
Probably get an upgrade on defense in the draft or offensive line in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's
right. They have to go Evan Neal.
I could see him going either way, but either way they go, it's going to be an upgrade.
Yeah, but I mean, you have Trevor Lawrence. You invested so much in this guy, right?
You have to get
want
somebody
him to succeed. You have to get Evan Neal. You can't just keep rolling out there, the way the Cardinals do with this shit offensive line. You know what I mean? But that's the thing I was going to bring up is that everyone gives Trevor Lawrence a pass, and I do too. I'm not saying I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but Kyler Murray did not have a good team that he went into. It was a 3-win team, and he had a rookie of the year type of thing, and people are down on him now. Whereas Trevor Lawrence, he threw 11 touchdowns the entire year, I think.
Okay, well that's not fair.
12.
That's not fair. That's not fair to be comparing these guys to this younger generation of quarterbacks who have come out and just slayed it year 1 and 2. I mean, look at Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions his first year.
Yeah, he did. So did Trevor Lawrence.
So I think that we're just kind of jumping ahead of ourselves on
quarterback, but I do think that there is a little bit of speculation that you can make there that does he really want it?
I think what Jacksonville needs to do from here on out is, okay, you got yourself a quarterback, build around this guy. Like if you really believe in this kid, enough with I don't know what the hell they've been doing for the last couple of years. I mean, because at one point Jacksonville was considered a Super Bowl contender.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
That was a while back.
About 3 years ago.
It was longer than that.
And
that was when Calais Campbell was.
Yeah, when Campbell was there. Yeah.
So Campbell.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, how did you go from being a Super Bowl contender, and all of a sudden the very next year you went back to being,
contracts? They got rid of Jalen Ramsey, got rid of Calais Campbell. I mean, that'll kill a defense. Yeah, got rid of the pass rush and the corner.
And I think
that then it just falls downhill. But I do agree with you guys. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be good. I think the biggest change, and it needed to be done, was Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer's a shit coach. I'm an Ohio State fan, and I told everyone, I was like, bro, you don't want Urban Meyer coaching you. He's a good recruiter. He's not a good coach. He's not a good schemer. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And we saw that this year because he was out there treating these guys like they were in, college still, and they're grown men.
I think he's a good schemer. Did you not see the video of him at his restaurant with that girl? I think he schemes pretty good. Okay?
Different type of scheme.
Wolf.
Scheming up a way to get a divorce, really.
That dirty old man. God.
My
he
God.
schemes pretty good, I think. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
All right. So,
All right.
Are you guys as excited as I am about Mike McDaniel going to Miami? I loved it.
I actually am. I love that dude.
He came out and said, I'd start Jalen Waddle in fantasy. And then he said during an appearance, Dan Lebtard show, McDaniel suggests that Waddle is going to continue to see the ball come his way as often as he did last year. And he had a quote, the easiest way to get yards is to give it to a talented player. I would start him in fantasy. He also expressed a lot of excitement in Tua, and he sees greatness in him.
I think he kind of looks like him.
If somebody can get them going, I feel like it's somebody from San Francisco that had to deal with Jimmy G.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a huge upgrade for Tua. I think it's a huge upgrade for Waddle. I think it's a huge upgrade for the entire offense.
And then they get then one of his hirings for staff, the wide receiver coach was Wes Welker.
Yeah.
I heard. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's awesome, bro. Wes Welker was a good receiver. It was great. I mean, let's see what he could do with these young guys and some of the vets. Miami people
Miami's
underestimate.
A mess.
Miami's a mess, especially with this whole situation going on with their previous head coach, which is the whole situation I don't want to get into.
It's wild.
But it's wild. But listen, it's not like Miami. At one point, Miami was considered one of the best, And
I still think they are a good team, though. And I was really happy that they were able to keep the majority of the defensive staff on. So that's going to make them not really skip a beat. And that's what their bread and butter was this year, was that defense. That defense played outstanding. I mean, they went on a 7-game win streak also.
Yeah. This is a big upgrade for them. Huge upgrade.
I don't think it's a huge upgrade because I don't think that Brian Flores was a bad coach. I think it's just different.
I do. Is there any way that you can put
for Tua?
Is there any way that you can put his picture and your picture side by side because y'all look very similar?
Well, that's why I like him so much. He looks like me. He acts cool and shit. And I think we'd be homies.
I think he'd be homies with just about anybody.
Fair enough.
I mean,
I think Tua
everyone. Hey, wait a minute. Now I'm Mike McDaniel. Used to be Alex Smith. Huh?
Which one? I like it. I like it.
It's a good upgrade. No, I was gonna say, dude.
Oh my god,
Daniel's like 5'5".
No, but I just think, dude. I think what we saw from Tua last year, he's got to have people that believe in him, and I feel like when the organization comes out and doesn't back him, why do you want to go play for somebody like that? And now you're going to get a head coach in there who believes in the offense, who believes in Tua, who believes in Waddle. That in itself, regardless of anything else, that to me has got to make Tua look better this year.
Yeah, and I mean, when your head coach was over here saying, talking crap about you behind your back, or no, not behind your back, in front of everybody. Yeah, and to your face saying, yeah, you suck. Come on, that's not gonna hurt. That's gonna do something to your character, especially in the game.
I was actually talking to a beat reporter a few weeks ago when this Brian Flores stuff came out, and he was talking about on the sideline that Brian Flores, the way he treated players and whatnot, Tua would always get in the middle of it and whatnot, and they would like actually fight on the sidelines.
Really?
And I was like, what?
I actually really like.
He wanted
Brian
Deshaun
Flores.
Watson. He wanted
actually
Deshaun
really
Watson
like-
so bad.
I really like Brian Flores until all this stuff's starting to come out and all
I
these
did too.
things. I'm like, wow, I was kind of pissed that the Vikings didn't go get him. I'm surprised that some of these teams didn't jump on him. But now looking at it, I'm like, oh, they know more than I do because I wouldn't want him.
Yeah,
I don't know if I wouldn't want him or if I would want him. He has a lot of drama going on right now. I do still think he's a good coach.
Yeah.
I think he knows what he's doing, but he comes from that, New England style where it's their way or get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't play their bullshit. And some of them can do it, and it's great. Bill Belichick's been doing it for years. Matt Patricia failed miserably trying to do that type of shit. Brian Flores was actually a winning coach. So it was very surprising that it came out and that he got fired. It was kind of out of nowhere for me. But then you see all this stuff, and I think it had to do with really Tua. Because the organization wanted to move forward with Tua because they couldn't get a Deshaun Watson deal done. I don't believe that they didn't want Deshaun Watson. I absolutely believe they might still want him. But they're going to move forward with Tua, and they knew that Brian Flores couldn't do it.
And especially, now that, the new coach, like, as if he really is like high praising Tua, we're definitely going to see a culture change in the Dolphins. And it's a very much needed, a very much appreciated change because, again, Tua's not that bad of a quarterback. That kid has a future ahead of him. But when you are being told every single day by the one guy that you're supposed to have your full trust saying, I don't like you. I really don't. Like, how would you guys like it if I just straight up telling you, why are you guys doing podcasts? Stop doing podcasts. Just stop.
I'll tell you right now. Hold on.
Oh, did I hit some buttons I shouldn't have pushed? I'm sorry. I'm fired anyway.
Panda won't be on the show any longer. Apologize.
That's right. We're gonna let him go. Get the fuck out of here. Wait. No, but so thinking of this in terms of Dynasty, I want to bring it back to fantasy relevance. Where does Jalen Waddle slot in? Because he had an amazing rookie season, and it's not talked about as much because of what Jamar Chase did. Imagine if Jamar Chase didn't come out this year. He had the most receptions of any rookie. But is that because of what happened?
I think Jalen Waddle should be pretty high on your Dynasty rankings.
I would think he's high, but how high? How high do you put him?
You got to put him in the top 15, I think.
I'd say top.
I was going to say, if we're talking top 15 or top 20 for Rashad Bateman and Terry McLaurin, I mean, I think Jalen Waddle is.
Well, I don't think
way
they're
far.
outside top 15, but just outside.
Oh, okay, yeah, but even that, we're
Waddle's
talking
got to
15
be
to
in your
20.
15.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because Waddle showed signs of like, oh God, what can this kid do?
But can he move up to your top 10? That's where it is the real conversation. Can he get inside that top 10? I feel like it's very tough to get in that top 10 because you have Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuels, T. Higgins has to be in there. CeeDee Lamb has to be in there. Stephon Diggs. Cooper Kupp has got to be in the top 10. Devontae Adams. Who are you taking out to put him in? Also, Tyreek Hill is, in that conversation. Who are you taking out to put him in?
Devontae Adams if he has Jordan Love.
Devontae Adams is extremely talented, but he also has Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball. And those guys are incredible to watch. I hate the Packers, but they're incredible to watch. And
Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Devontae Adams.
Aaron Rodgers is only coming back if they pay him.
And he gets Devontae Adams back.
That's what I'm saying. If they pay Devontae Adams.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing with Waddle is he's a rookie. I mean, he played well. And let's keep him again. I would tell you top 15, but I wouldn't put him in the top 10. Not yet. Let's see what he does year 2.
Yeah,
Because
I like Jalen Waddle a lot, and it's kind of weird because the way you thought of Jalen Waddle coming in from the draft last year, you thought of him more of a stretch player, right? Playing downfield. This year, he was actually a yards after the catch guy. Like he was averaging what, like 6 yards a reception? I mean, it was something really small. Let me look.
They do have fantasy pros. They do a lot of that stuff, dynasty stuff. Excuse me. They've got Jalen Waddle ranked at 11, bottom of tier 2.
Wow.
Look at that. See, I guess top 15.
He's above T. Higgins. He's above DJ Moore. He's above Deontay Johnson. He's above Chris Godwin, Terry McLaurin, Calvin Ridley round out the next tier. And he's the step above that next tier guys.
That's wild.
So his yards per reception last year was 9.8. That was ranked 101st.
Wow.
And you thought of him as a speed guy. You thought of him as a better version of Henry Ruggs. At least I did.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he was going to be close to the line of scrimmage. But was that more because Miami gave away all their offensive linemen, so they had no damn time, and they were just trying to get the ball in the playmakers' hands?
I don't disagree having him that high, though. I love Jalen Waddle. I like where they have him ranked.
At 11 is.
I think that's it, almost perfect.
Yeah, I was gonna say can you? If you take out the Super Bowl game, can you really put T. Higgins above him? I mean, he had a couple of good games to end the year, but other than that, I mean, the guy was non-existent.
He's young on a great team. I mean, they can only get better on offense, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put DJ Moore above him? I don't think so.
No.
Well, I would put DJ Moore above him if somehow Carolina could finagle a Deshaun Watson trade.
Yeah.
And they are in those talks.
Yeah, but it seems like everyone's in talks to get Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but I'm saying like not with Sam Darnold, because Sam Darnold's not, we noticed that didn't work out. And there's nobody in the draft that's going to make me super excited if Carolina goes and drafts a quarterback. So that's not going to do it. They're going to have some type of quarterback come in there to really move DJ Moore up to where he should be. He's the new aged Allen Robinson, just playing with bum quarterbacks, even though he's a top 5 talent.
But I still like the ranking of Jalen Waddle. He has a great quarterback, great head coach. And who else is on that team that's competing?
No, and that's what was worrisome about Jalen Waddle and how well he did this year is that Devontae Parker went out. They traded Jakeem Grant. Who is the other guy that got injured too? Preston Williams got hurt. Will Fuller didn't play at all because he said he had a fingernail. I mean,
but
dude, play a broken nail.
Are the Dolphins?
No, he broke a finger and never came back.
Yeah.
Do you think the Dolphins bring back Gesicki?
No.
I
don't. I don't think it's worth it to him.
Well, there's a big target share gone right then.
Yeah, but the guy behind him's good too.
Who is the guy behind him
right now?
Exactly, you're spacing his name.
Yeah, he hasn't played. I will look real quick though.
Yeah, I'm gonna find him because I know.
So behind him is Smythe.
Yeah, that's why you spaced on his name, because you don't know his name. Because he's not good. He's not Mike Gesicki. He's not the most talented tight end we've ever seen at the combine.
Okay,
fair.
Most athletic.
Talent, athletic is all the same combine stuff.
but
he could jump the highest, Andrew.
But he's. I mean, the agility score of Smythe is in the 72nd percentile. That's good. He's a good college player. Like, he could be good. He'd be fine. I would not pay Gesicki to come back. But I would go out and look at the wide receivers that are available and bring one in.
Like who? Who's going to be a free agent that you bring in?
Not that's going to really take away targets, I guess. But
exactly,
you can go get Michael Gallup.
Go get Calvin Ridley.
Well,
oh god,
he's on the sale rack right now.
Yeah, what a weird situation with Calvin. I mean,
you could bring in.
It's become
what
one.
What if they go out and get Chris Godwin?
If they go out and get Chris Godwin, then yeah, it becomes
right.
Godwin, probably Godwin. Oh yeah, that would spread out
huge.
more. That'd be huge. That would spread.
You know,
out
they could
more.
also go get Juju. Juju's still a good player.
He's still a good player.
They just ended up using him wrong in Pittsburgh, honestly.
You know, as long as they're not down by a couple points, by like 3 points, and then he decides to dance instead of put the ball down, they'll be fine. They should be fine. I mean,
listen, you make one more side comment about Juju like that, and it's gonna be over. Okay?
You're already on the sale rack.
You're already on it. No one's there to buy it.
I like Jalen Waddle.
Oh my gosh, Hammer House and James Washington better get the fuck out of here, bro. Come on. No, he is not.
Better than who?
Juju's washed at 24 years old. Come on, bro.
Hey. The TikTok is what makes him a little bit better sometimes, right?
Listen, that TikTok shit is awesome. The stuff that he does, I love it. I don't know why the NFL has gotten into this thing where they are like, I don't want you celebrating and I don't want you dancing. Like, get the fuck out of here. These guys get their ass beat for
no fun league. Yeah.
3 hours a day. Why not dance a little? Right?
Yeah. And
you get smacked, you deserve to get somebody dancing.
No, and all jokes aside,
if I score, I should be able to dance my ass off.
No, like all jokes aside,
you don't get to like 5 times a year.
Like all jokes aside,
you know how hard it is to get in the end zone. Look at some of these guys; they only get there once all year. And if you only get there once, damn it, that better be a good dance.
No, but what's it called? Like all jokes aside, I think Juju, that dude is, even though he's not his first 2 years.
Stop it.
He's not, no. I'm not gonna bash the kid. I'm not gonna bash the dude. I like listen. I like Juju too, but I listen. I think he's
let's do a thought experiment real quick, okay? For some reason, Cooper Kupp goes down. They bring in Juju and slot him into the same position. Let's be honest. He's going to be a top 10 wide receiver.
I think Odell becomes the top 10.
He plays in that.
Robert
Odell does not play that position.
I don't think that he targets that position.
That big slot guy is so dynamic.
Listen, Matthew Stafford actually slept in the same bed as Cooper Kupp, okay? That's why they had a connection.
Well, if he's injured.
Yeah, like I think no. And the thing is, I'm not saying Juju sucks. No shape or form. He's the player he is for a reason. I just think, listen, like maybe the change of scenery would do him great and it will just improve his game. But
he'll hit you. That's the thing. I feel like he's going to go to one of those teams that is like San Francisco and LA and stuff. They like those blocking wide receivers, and he'll whack you.
Yeah, because the kid. That's the thing. He's a good blocker. He's a hitter.
I mean, you remember that revenge hit on Vontaze Burfict? He laid him out.
I just saw that video again the other day, and I was like, "Dang, I totally forgot about."
And they stood over him.
Uh-huh.
He. And the thing is, I think what? So is Big Ben? Okay, the thing with Big Ben, is he retiring or not? So like, he said he is. Not. But then now I heard some rumors that he was thinking about maybe not retiring, maybe one more year, running it back, especially the way it ended.
That's just because there's not a lot to talk about. So
yeah, so
to bring it up.
I think,
and they're oh fuck, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna have to play Rudolph?
No, Jameis.
I think it's gonna come down to maybe Juju. He wants maybe a change of scenery would do him great. But again, he's a great receiver. So I mean, I'm not knocking him on that. He's the reason he's Juju. But again, he's gonna need. Are we really gonna believe Rudolph and Juju took the Steelers to the Super Bowl?
Well, Juju's not gonna be in Pittsburgh.
No,
he's a free agent. He's not going back. But Carter, if Jameis really, ended up being in Pittsburgh, Deontay Johnson, top 10 wide receiver.
You and Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson's awesome,
Get off
bro.
Deontay Johnson's dick.
Bro,
Golly.
Deontay Johnson's fucking amazing. All these people, you remember this last year, Zach. Everyone's like, Chase Claypool's better. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Deontay Johnson is so good. I don't care that he drops the ball. Because he catches more than he drops.
He actually did drop the ball many times this year.
No.
This year was way better.
Oh, hey, speaking of rumors, I saw something just a minute ago where it was talking about Marquise Brown maybe stopping football to play video games on Twitch.
That was a troll job.
Oh, was it a troll job?
Yeah,
no.
It was a huge troll job. Got all kinds of people on Twitter. It was hilarious.
I think it's a good
saying
idea.
That he was going to become a gamer and shit. He's not even. He doesn't even have a Twitch following.
I don't know. I don't watch. I don't get on Twitch.
I know, but it was so funny because people actually bought into it. It's the same dipshits out there saying that Kyler Murray went into the office and said that he's not playing unless they get CeeDee Lamb. It's all bullshit. It's bullshit season on Twitter.
So it's not true that he's going to the Oakland Athletics?
While they're in holding out?
Let's start the MLB season first, and we'll talk about if he's going to play or not.
Right? Yeah, that's why it's so funny.
All
They're
right.
like, "Oh, he could play baseball." I'm like, baseball players aren't playing baseball.
True.
So why in the hell is he going to go to a sport that's not playing right now?
Well, those guys are all getting paid to watch TV and hang out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's cool for them.
I wouldn't mind.
All right.
No, I wouldn't mind. Shit, I'd do the
I
same
wouldn't
thing.
mind playing video games on Twitch.
No, hell no.
I thought it was a great idea.
Make some big ass money, bro. Like millions.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought
Anyhow.
it was being serious.
All right. Well, hey guys, again, I do gotta hop off. Sorry for some emergency that happened last minute. I'll see you guys next week. Finish this thing off strong, guys. Take care. All right. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, bro.
Bye,
Peace.
Panda.
Take care, guys. Panda.
Panda.
All right, we are almost finished. Actually, I wanted to talk a little bit about last year rookie quarterbacks, though. Since we brought up Trevor Lawrence. If you look at this, this class was super hyped, right? Justin Fields didn't really do it. We didn't get to see Trey Lance. Mac Jones looks like the real deal, but not for fantasy. Is he going to end up being fantasy? And Zach, being a Jet fan and whatnot, I know you love Zach Wilson.
I absolutely cannot stand
what the
Zach
hell
Wilson.
happened this year?
He's garbage.
He's garbage.
So bad.
He wasn't good in college.
Oh.
No.
I don't understand it.
He was so high on people's rankings. I remember NBC had him above Trevor Lawrence.
Stupid.
Chris Sims.
I don't think that me and you had him in our top 3.
No, I didn't have him. I had him 5th. Yeah. I had him 5th.
I couldn't believe, I love Justin Fields, and I think that he just got kind of a bad landing spot, so we'll see what Chicago does differently here. But when they took him above Trey Lance and Justin Fields, I'm like, wait, what just happened? What's going on here?
Right.
I thought it was kind of like a joke that the Jets were projected to take him at he went at 2, and I was like, wait, is this for real? And then it was for real. And I was like, what just happened?
It didn't make any sense to me. I like Justin Fields a lot, but I knew that he was going to need time because at Ohio State, he did not have to read defenses, and he's playing with, these crazy all-star wide receivers and whatnot. Goes into Chicago. He's not the starter to start the season. They tell him he's not going to play, And then all of a sudden he gets thrust and thrown in with bad coaching, not even coaching to his strength.
Well, and the fact that they told him that he wasn't going to play, and then they throw him in for a little bit for like some wildcat type stuff. Then he doesn't play. Then he starts. Then he doesn't start. It's like, dude, what do you expect from the guy? Like, he's a young kid, first year in the league. He's already trying to learn as much as he can, and then you're just kind of sprinkling him here and there to throw him in.
It's like the same thing Miami did with Tua the first year.
No.
They play him for half the game and then pull him out. And
it's the same thing the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson his first year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just don't understand why they did that. But I still believe in Justin Fields. I think they do need to get another wide receiver over there. But if I'm putting my chips in, I'm going Trey Lance. And in fantasy football right now, I'm going Trey Lance over all of them.
I want to go Trey Lance, but for some reason, man, with the new head coach over there in Jacksonville, I keep wanting to lean more towards Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I'm not going to argue. I think that Trevor Lawrence has all the skill to become that guy. But when I look at everything San Francisco has to offer, especially Deebo Samuel, they don't have a Deebo over there.
They have a poor man's version of it named Laviska Shenault.
Yeah, I guess the
very poor
version.
Very poor version.
Yeah, like very poor though, because I feel like Laviska, when he was coming out, I thought, oh my gosh, he's gonna be the next Deebo or AJ Brown. He's that type of player, but he just never fired. Does he fire this year? Maybe. I mean, he came from Colorado, so maybe he needed time to acclimate to the NFL. I still hold a smidge of help, just tiny bit. I'll still buy him in Dynasty because he's essentially free. But
yeah,
Deebo, we know if he can stay healthy.
Elijah Mitchell, he also has Elijah Mitchell.
He's going to be amazing. I don't think it matters what running backs over there because Shanahan doesn't give a shit as long as you can get from here to there.
I like the weapons that Trevor Lawrence has as well with DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, Travis Etienne. I like those weapons, and I don't think they're bad weapons. And he also doesn't he have Marvin Jones again this year?
He does. Yeah, one more year.
And does he have Dan Arnold again?
Yes. No. Yes. He's there for. I have to vet that actually.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's tied 1 year or 2 years, because they got him like midway through the season.
Yeah. So
I do like the weapons over there, and I like that their defense is trash. That helps, boost those stats. And that's what I thought about Trevor Lawrence coming in. That's why I had him as my number one in Dynasty last year. But now of what I've seen from Trey Lance, which isn't very much, I can just push my chips in and say, I think he's going to make that leap. And we know that there's going to be at least one, if not two of these guys that never fire.
Yeah. And his name is Zach
just
Wilson.
Based on history, and Zach Wilson might be it. He might be the one that doesn't fire.
I mean, look at what's already happened.
We know that Mac Jones already fired.
Mac Jones already fired. Davis Mills already fired technically.
What did Houston do with that though? Do they stay with Davis Mills? Do they go out? Like, what in the hell?
Davis Mills is possibly better than Zach Wilson right now. So
I mean, he had a better season. He honestly had a better season than all of them, but Mac Jones.
Yeah. So what do you do with that? Do you just roll with it?
No, because it wasn't expected. That's what's so weird about it. And it's one of those things that, do they believe in him, or do they just, randomly just, we put him in, but we don't want to. Yeah. And they play Tyrod again next year.
Another quarterback
played when he was healthy.
Another quarterback that didn't hit, which I didn't expect him to, is Ian Bach. That guy was trash.
Well, I mean, to be honest,
bad.
He looked bad when he was at Notre Dame.
Well, so did Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson looked bad in college too, but that didn't.
Zach Wilson looked amazing in college.
It was 1 year.
Until he went to a winning school.
Yeah, he played.
When he
played
played against
not the junior
somebody
high.
that was out of conference, it was bad.
Yeah, when he played, the Arizona middle school preschoolers, he did really good. He did excellent.
Yeah,
it's fair.
So I like some of these rookie quarterbacks that we had this year. I like Davis Mills. I like Justin Fields. I like Trevor Lawrence. I don't really like
bet on Davis Mills. Would you?
It depends on what Houston does. What if Houston commits to him?
I think Houston's directionally challenged right now because they don't know what to do. And I don't think they within the organization know what to do that because they're not good, but they're not bad enough to be super bad.
Yeah.
They have certain things going for them, but it's not enough to be a contender team.
Yeah, so they try to tank and they can't even tank right. Davis Mills comes out there and starts throwing 300 yards a game and 3 touchdowns.
Right.
Like they can't even lose correctly.
Somebody said I would rather start a random 7th grade team over Zach Wilson.
It's fair.
It's fair. It's fair.
Good. Yeah.
I played in junior high. I played with a couple of quarterbacks who I think could make the throws he does.
Zach Wilson actually, to be honest, I know this is going to sound crazy, but great throws this season. Zach Wilson probably had more than Justin Fields. He had
he had to.
Bad throws, but no. What do you mean he had to? They both.
What do you mean they had to? They're always behind. He's already thrown 7 interceptions, so why not? Hell, fuck it. Just throw it down. Just throw it up in the air. Who gives a shit?
Then have Corey Davis run underneath it and have 3 touchdowns.
Exactly. Hell, he's already thrown 3 interceptions in the game. What's another one? Just throw that motherfucker in the air.
Damn, I was so on Corey Davis last year too. Shit.
Yeah.
It just didn't come to fruition for some odd reason.
Yeah, because
and then injury happened and
the injury.
It was bad. But Carter, if you were to choose one of these guys most unlikely to succeed, who would that be?
I don't know. I like Justin Fields, and I think just the situation is not likely, but I feel like he's got the intangibles to be he could throw the ball really well. He's mobile. He, hopefully can just learn at the NFL level. I'm hoping that, against the odds, Justin Fields can overcome them of anybody.
His deep ball is very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his deep ball reminds you of Russell Wilson.
Yeah, his deep ball is
a lot like
pretty.
Russell Wilson. Yeah.
But
if they can get some more weapons around him,
passing is absolutely atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's bad. That's the same thing when Josh Allen. You remember when Josh Allen came out? Oh my gosh. He used to try and take your head off 2 yards away.
He really would though. He would. He'd throw bullets at you. He still does.
So
Go
bad.
look at some of the passes he throws.
Yeah, it was so bad when he was first coming out of college and his last year in college. 3-5 yards down the field, he would miss way over your head. But then he'd make a beautiful pass that was 60 yards downfield.
Yeah. I don't disagree
Justin
with
Fields turn into that. I don't know.
I don't disagree with the Justin Fields thing. I just believe that team needs a lot more around him in order for him to succeed.
Right.
I think that him succeeding depends more on the team around him than just his own ability. Whereas you have people like Mac Jones. Mac Jones has succeeded this year, not in fantasy per se, but he succeeded with not much around him.
Yeah, I think Mac Jones proved that he was in the right situation for him. I wouldn't say he's the most talented, but he went to the best situation, especially for his skill set.
Yes.
Well, and he didn't go to a garbage team. You look at the Jaguars, you get drafted in to the Jaguars, and it's kind of we're going to get trashed on. And no matter how good I am, it's not going to matter. Where Mac Jones can go into a winning organization and a winning culture and be average, but prove that he's, capable NFL quarterback.
Yeah, somebody just said that they went to Justin Fields' pro day and he throws absolute moonshots on the money. And
Yeah.
when you see him throwing those deep balls, they're so gorgeous. They really are. I remember I didn't go to any pro day, but I do try to watch them all on the YouTube.
Is that a new thing?
Yeah, the new thing on the
Old ass
YouTube.
man.
And it is absolutely gorgeous, and it's set up. You know what I mean? Like they set
Yeah,
up all
it's
the
set up
best
to
throws
make him
and
look
whatnot,
good.
to make them look absolutely amazing. Do you remember? I don't know why this popped in my head, but do you remember Johnny Manziel's pro day?
I don't.
Oh my gosh, he had like rap playing. It was like a big old party almost at Texas.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
It was.
Are you sure that was his pro day?
Yeah.
That's
Are
an
you sure it
everyday
wasn't just like-
occurrence.
you
have to go
every day
look
was
it up.
Tuesday? Sure, it wasn't a
Yeah.
Tuesday.
You have to go look it up. But I think that this class was a little bit overhyped, but we can't really judge it fully yet. I just don't think that I think Zach Wilson's going to be fine. I think he's going to be there in New York for a few years.
I don't.
I
don't
really
know if
do.
he'll be. I don't know if he'll be there in another year.
And I think New York has put themselves in a tough spot because they traded away Sam Darnold, threw all their chips into a bag of Zach Wilson. So they're going to do everything possible to make it work. The one thing is that didn't make any damn sense is then they went and hired a defensive head coach last year. I like their coach, but why go a defensive head coach when you have a brand new quarterback? I think that they don't know exactly how to use them. And Zach Wilson's fine. I do worry about Davis Mills. I think it was a fluke season. I don't think he is somebody to put any type of trust in, honestly. I don't even know if he'll start next year.
He might not start, but going back to the Jets thing, you're talking about hiring the defensive coach. The last time they had a promising young quarterback and they hired a defensive-minded coach, they went to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, well, because Rex Ryan
That's what they were
really
hoping. That's what they were hoping. It's just not going to happen, though, because for some reason, even Mark Sanchez is better than Zach Wilson.
Well, no, he is not. Stop it. Listen, I don't.
Yes, he is.
You have me defending Zach Wilson here, and I'm not a
I'm
Zach
gonna make
Wilson
you
guy.
defend him.
But
Defend him.
honestly, he's better than Mark Sanchez. I don't think Mark Sanchez was that awful, but I think Zach Wilson has the ability to be great. But the thing is that you go to BYU and then you get thrown in week 1. That's stupid.
You drafted him to be thrown in.
It allowed him to grow a lot, and you're going to see a huge jump this year. One of the two things is going to happen.
When they drafted him to be thrown in week 1. They drafted him to be the starter right now, not in 2 years.
Somebody wrote the Texans should bring back the GOAT, Matt Savage.
Dude.
I love that.
This is good. I don't know why in the chat it comes up as Facebook user and it doesn't tell me their name. That's stupid. But okay, enough about that. Have you guys looked at any rookie drafts recently, or are there any rookies that you're excited about?
So I've looked at a couple, and it's still too early. I think it's still way too early to be doing a rookie draft or to be doing startups with a rookie draft. Just hold up until at least draft and see where people land. It's like I love Treylon Burks, and I know that Andrew's going to feel differently about this, but if Treylon Burks goes to a bad situation, I don't want him anymore. He's not my number 1 pick.
That's just because you're wrong.
Yeah, see,
and it doesn't matter
you're going to
where
feel
the hell he goes. He is the 101 of 101s. He is exactly what you're looking for. Let me just mold these two players together real quick. He is honestly DK Metcalf, speed-wise, size-wise, mixed with A.J. Brown.
And see, that's also why I want to wait.
Monster. Where the hell could he go that he won't actually be the number 1?
His starting quarterback is the Saints quarterback. Or
why would he fall that far down the list anyhow?
Yeah, he shouldn't. But every DK Metcalf fell to the second round.
Third
round. Sorry, even worse. So things happen that we don't.
Yeah, I guess it was the last pick of the second round.
Yeah, so things happen that we don't, see coming. But that's also why I want to wait until the combine. What happens if Treylon Burks goes to the combine and runs a sub 4.4?
That's not going to happen, though.
What if he does?
It doesn't really matter because if you look at AJ Brown, he run a sub 4.4.
I think he's. Did he really? I didn't know AJ Brown was that fast.
Let me look real quick. So
I agree though with Zach. Like I'll look a little bit at it, but what's the point in looking at him before the rookie or before the draft? Because maybe Treylon Burks is an exception, so to speak. But I mean, looking at all the guys down, if you just look at the top 10, for example, like
you look at Hall, Hall's landing spot's going to be big for him.
Right, exactly. Running backs always have the huge part as landing spot because if they're going to get touches the first year, or if they're going to be a workhorse, or if they're going to be a bench player, like you just don't know.
Well, the number one thing for the running back is just opportunity. That's the only thing you care about. And when you're drafting, in these rookie drafts and whatnot, you're just almost automatically taking the first one drafted. Breece Hall is going to be the first one drafted.
He should be.
I mean, it's either him or Isaiah Spiller, and they're going to go neck and neck.
Yeah, and that's another guy that I'm kind of – because I'm seeing some mock drafts, like real-life NFL drafts. Isaiah Spiller's not going until the third round, and maybe even the fourth.
What? This guy said Zach ran a 3.83 in high school. I witnessed it.
Who said that?
I don't know. It just tells me Facebook user. It doesn't tell me their names for some reason.
How do they know my 40 time? No, I'm serious. Where did they find that out?
Uh-huh. That's right. But I don't think you can move me off Treylon Burks. I'm super excited about Treylon Burks. Breece Hall, I think it's going to be good. But the thing is that I'm worried that this running back class will be similar to Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders class. That's what it reminds me of. The quarterback class, there's no one that excites me. I'll take a shot on Malik if he falls far enough in a rookie draft. But I feel like in a super flex, he's going top, 5 picks? And I'm not taking him there.
Yeah, I think I told you before that I'm interested in Kenny Pickett, seeing where he goes.
And I'm not interested in Kenny Pickett. I mean,
I'm interested in where he goes.
Kenny Pickett, you think of what is his ceiling? Derek Carr?
Yeah, but is
that somebody I want on my team? Not really. Why am I going to use a first round pick on him?
If he goes to somewhere like the Steelers, he becomes very interesting.
Yeah, but he has those little tiny hands.
Oh my god.
And he wears gloves.
How do you feel about the Cincinnati quarterback? He's getting a lot of praise.
Yeah, Ritter.
Yeah.
I think Ritter is an okay. I think he's an okay quarterback for this class, but he's not I think he's going to be a great backup.
For some reason, when you said Cincinnati quarterback, my mind went to Joe Burrow, and I was like, I think he's going to be okay.
He also has tiny hands.
I think he'll be all right.
No, I just think that the whole thing of the draft is big media, right? And what brings the most attention is quarterbacks. So quarterbacks get pushed up the board, and NFL franchises, they can't seem to find 32 damn quarterbacks in the entire world that are good. 32 people can't be a quarterback. This is ridiculous if you think about it. And so they'll be pushed up the board even though they shouldn't be. I think there's only one first-round quarterback in this entire draft at this moment. We're very early on. I still have to do more watching and looking at different numbers. But from the numbers that I've looked at so far, there's only one that should go in the first round.
Who is that?
The Malik.
Oh, yeah. Malik.
And that's just because of what his speed and everything is.
Yeah.
So when you have a guy like that, that can run around like Michael Vick and Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson, even if he is a shit passer, which he actually is probably one of the strongest passers of this class. But then he also went to Liberty, and how often do you see a quarterback come out of Liberty? They don't play anybody.
That's what I was about to say. Is that his landing spot's going to be interesting. What if he goes to a place where he has a starting opportunity?
And I think that is going to be a rocky road. I'm hoping that he has a Jalen Hurts type of season. Where he doesn't do so well passing wise, but he runs so much that he becomes a top 10 fantasy player.
And he very well could be, but he's going to have to go to one of these teams that need a quarterback. And I don't know if one of these teams that need a quarterback are going to take a chance on him.
I don't know. I mean, you don't think New Orleans would?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, they love Taysom Hill.
Maybe they
like that dynamism. They know that Michael Thomas said that he's coming back. Alvin Kamara, as long as he doesn't go to jail, will be back. They have a good defense. They need to do something over there.
Yeah.
Or they're going to just waste these years away, and Taysom Hill's not the guy. And if they're not able to win free agency and get Jimmy Garoppolo over there, I mean, they're going to be put in a tough spot. And that's why I think that there will be 3 or maybe even 4 quarterbacks go in the first round just because of the landscape. Like, when you don't have a quarterback, you have to draft one.
Man, this free agency
it's like shooting for the stars.
This free agency is going to be so much fun.
Oh, yeah. This free agency is going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
So much movement. And this QB carousel is always so much fun. And I'm hoping for as much chaos as possible. Like, I'm hoping that Russell Wilson, for some reason, goes to some just random-ass team. And I also don't want him in NFC West.
Move.
What's that?
I say I hope Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson move. And I hope Deshaun Watson's on the move. I hope all these guys are.
I hope Deshaun Watson plays this coming year.
He has to. What is it? The Texans going to keep paying him to sit on the sideline and talk shit to the reporters?
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm just hoping that the whole court case and shit is just done with.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Dragged out a lot. I haven't either, but it's been dragged out so much, and it's sad. Regardless of what happens, it's like we're dragging this out for an unknown outcome right now.
Yeah, and if he honestly gets acquitted of every single thing, then you just drag this man for a year and a half for nothing, and he'll never gain that reputation back. Look at Tyreek Hill. Everyone still talks about him being a piece of shit and whatnot, even though it came out on record that his baby mama made all the shit up.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of those guys. I mean, at Adrian Peterson. He just got arrested again on Sunday. It's like, it's ridiculous.
Well, at least he's not out there beating his kid with sticks anymore.
Look at Marquise Brown out here playing Twitch.
Yeah.
Hey, don't talk about Hollywood. Come on, man. Oh, no Hollywood. All right, guys, do you have anything to add, or we'll get out of here?
I don't think that I have anything to add. Man, I can't wait for best ball. That's what I'm ready for.
Best ball is coming. I think that we'll probably be doing a draft here next week, possibly.
I can't wait.
And maybe we'll ask some of the listeners to come in, and we're going to be doing best balls, and we're going to do them hard because I only am going to be playing 1 redraft league and maybe 2 dynasty leagues. The rest will be best ball because we dive into DFS during the season, and I can't keep up with it all.
Yeah,
right?
No one can.
All right. I want to thank everyone for listening to our first episode of All the Chalk Podcast. Don't forget to comment, like the video, subscribe, share, and most importantly, sign up for Super Draft Pro. Peace.
Bye.